Right here at Delmarva Backyard, we're going to be concentrating a lot of time this year, a lot of videos, a series of videos about one of our favorite foods, tacos. But we get it wrong so often. How do we get it wrong? You know, that stuff that you find on a taco at Taco Bell, that's not a taco. That's something else. I was a sucker for it too when I was younger, but you know, just like with barbecue, it's hard to really go out and enjoy a great barbecue restaurant for myself anymore because you just keep raising the bar up and you're just trying to outdo yourself, making the best brisket, making the best rib, doing everything you can to put out the best possible. And then, you know, one day you're on a road trip with your family and you stop in at a barbecue restaurant and you know it's not good. There's no flavor. It's dry. And the same thing happens with tacos. You know, the more you're used to authentic, good tacos, well, the more you don't visit Taco Bell. What's missing in today's tacos is one of the original ingredients that really make the taco pop, and that is slow cooked meat. Slow cooked meat on some kind of fire, no matter what kind of fire. Maybe it's a pit in the ground, maybe it's your charcoal grill, maybe it's a pellet smoker. You could get away with a gas grill, it's still grilling, but some type of live fire, meat and time all come together and we come up with this intense flavor, but incredibly tender meat and this profile for a taco. No matter what kind of taco you prefer, whether it's soft shell, whether it's hard shell, corn shell, whatever it is you like, it starts really with the meat. The meat is number one, and I think so many times when we're thinking tacos and we're getting our taco bar ready for all our friends or our family, and we kind of forget the fact that the star of the show is the meat. When meat is the star of the show, you gotta, you know, kind of figure out which star you wanna go with. Sometimes you can go with multiples. You have chicken, you have pork, you have beef, and you could use like some ground turkey. We use ground turkey here all the time in place of ground beef. Just a little healthier option. But today, we're gonna go beef, but not just beef and not ground beef. We're gonna take this beef up a whole nother level because we gotta remember the meat is the star of the show. Beef short ribs. Let's go ahead and get these guys out of the package, get a marinade ready, get them soaking in that marinade, then we'll start a fire and we'll come back in for the flavors. All right, so we're gonna start with a Ziploc bag. And this is so we can kind of keep everything condensed. We're gonna start with a half cup of white vinegar. You don't have to be exact, but I would say get somewhat close because we're gonna use this as a sauce too. We're not just gonna discard it when we're done with the marinade. For me, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this, about a half cup of any kind of barbecue sauce. I'm gonna use this because that's what I have in my cabinet. I think the Hawaiian notes of this sauce will do really well with tacos. About a half cup. Secret ingredient, a little Coke Zero. I know. A little Coke Zero. What are you doing, Mike? We're going for that acid. I'm gonna do about a half cup of some Coke Zero. And this stuff is all just gonna help tenderize these beef short ribs. Let's go ahead and put a lime in here. Again, the acidity is going to help us tenderize. Not done yet. We need about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of some Worcestershire sauce. All right, boys and girls, we got about 3 pounds of short ribs to get put in here. Beautiful looking short ribs though. You got them all in there. Go ahead and zip her up. Leave some air in the bag. That'll help you kind of move things around a bit. Find out if your bag is leak proof. Oh, look at that, not leak proof. All right, so because of that, we're gonna put this guy on a tray, on a cookie tray, and then we're just gonna leave it out on the counter because I want these beef short ribs to come up to room temperature so they'll cook evenly. So just like that, I'm gonna squish them around a little bit from time to time. I'm gonna let them sit up here for about an hour while every time I walk by, I'm just gonna go along and just kind of flip them around, move them around a little bit, just make sure we get even coverage. All right, the smoker's warming up. We're gonna get the beef on there shortly, but let's go ahead and start building the flavors. And we're gonna start with an onion, do some assorted chili peppers, and we're just gonna use some bell peppers as well to give it some body. Don't need to be pretty with the cutting because it's all going into a food processor. Put a little beef broth in there. We're gonna go with 1 can of beef broth. We'll go ahead and put this in the bullet. We will mix it up and come right back. And then we'll also do some sweet cherry tomatoes. All right, this is the pan we're gonna cook them in. First, we're gonna go ahead and dump the flavors in here. Got our peppers and our onion. Oh man. I'm gonna go ahead and add some beef broth. Don't want the liquid level to be more than halfway up the short ribs, and so you just gotta be careful with that. The reason I do this, get the charcoal going, it's the easiest to get going. Dump this inside the fire pit of the smoker, the Lone Star, and then put our logs on top. It just gives me a more controlled fire quicker. Easier to start, easier to manage. All right, let's make sure the vents are open. That one about halfway, and this one all the way. We're gonna take the hard side, if you have one, and we're gonna stick that down. Sometimes there is no hard side, and then it doesn't matter as much. This is gonna be delicious. Go top rack, 250 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna go just like that for about 2.5 hours. We're not gonna check it, we're not gonna lift the lid, we're just gonna monitor that temperature, you know, and adjust that fire as needed. 250, you could go as high as 275, but I think 250 is probably the perfect number in this cook. Rolling along at 250, about an hour in, guys. Now we're gonna go ahead and take these guys out of the pan and put them right on the rack. Just wanna make sure we get a nice smoky flavor. And we're gonna shut the lid just like that, 250 for about a half hour, and then I'll put them back into the braising liquid. That's a little hard to see, but now it's time to go ahead and put these short ribs back in the braising liquid. Some more wood on here. And we're looking to go up to about 275. Guys, we're 3.5 hours in. My short ribs are up to about 165. I've got the temperature of the smoker at 275. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move these guys out onto the grate one more time for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna let them finish up by putting them on the grate and getting some more smoke on them, and then we'll put them back in the braising liquid for just a little while longer, about an extra 10 degrees or so. We're going up to about, and it's a magic question, right? We're going up to about 200 degrees here, just like you would with like a brisket. And we want to get these guys really tender, falling apart tender, and we're gonna have to get up to 200 or so Fahrenheit to do that. The great thing about, and I can already see some recession of the meat from the bone, so that's a good thing. The great thing about this braising liquid is, you know, it's just like any other liquid when you're cooking, it's reducing. And so that's just concentrating those flavors. And what we're gonna have when we're done is just a really delicious sauce we can just kind of mix together. Man, I can't wait. Guys, we are 4 hours in. It's really hard to see because it's dark, but oh my gosh, they look amazing. Let's see what the temperature is. Oh, they're nice and soft. 175. Perfect time to go ahead and put them back in the braising liquid just for a little while. Probably another 45 minutes. Look at that, so amazing. See how there's very little liquid left? It's all been reduced. It's perfect, we're almost there. The trick is to pull them off when they're tender by probing. When the probe will go right in like it's room temperature butter. And we're not there yet. We're at 170-ish, 175-ish, and they're not quite ready. So we're gonna go ahead and let them continue cooking in the braising liquid, which is gelled up now. It's very thick and it's gonna be so full of wonderful flavor. Got another, I'd say, another 45 minutes. Right here on the counter and let them rest for about a half an hour. My favorite part of every video. Let's give this a shot and see how it tastes. Make sure you dribble some of the sauce on top of it, you know, when you get it on your taco, or maybe mix the meat in it a little bit. It's got all those flavors, the Coke, the barbecue sauce, the fat from the meat, it's got the peppers, all that stuff we put into the whole thing is all concentrated right there, and it's reduced down into one intense liquid that you just dribble on as a sauce that's incredibly good. It's not over the top spicy. Put your little queso on there, some cilantro, and then our homemade mango salsa. That mango salsa is amazing. Make sure you give that a shot. Use whatever taco shells that you want. You know, whatever makes you happy. For me, I'm trying to keep it simple and easy, so we went ahead with some soft. We used the fajita size. Some soft tacos. My son likes those. I like those. I hope that you enjoyed the video and that maybe you're going to try this recipe out. If you do try it, go ahead and leave us some feedback in the comment section. If you have any questions about the video, please also leave those in the comment section. I really appreciate your time and your interest in the video. Do me a favor, share the video with your family, your friends on your social media walls. That'll help me grow the channel, reach more people, and spread that love of barbecue.